I said in the previous video, 7th graders, the one about rectangle perimeter problems, that they could get slightly harder. I plan to have this video be somewhat short, involving just 2 problems. And see if you agree with me by the end that these are not that much harder than the ones from the previous video. So our first one tells us that the perimeter of a rectangle is 36 centimeters. The length is 4 more than 3 times the width. Find the length and width. Well, you probably realize that the additional complexity of this problem is in this phrase, 4 more than 3 times the width. But you should be able to handle that. Let me write L equals, and see if you can figure out how to represent symbolically that the length is 4 more than 3 times the width. It's not that hard. What do you think? Pause if you need to. The length is 4 more than 3 times the width. Well, of course it's that. That says that L is 4 more than 3 times W. I continue to advise you to draw a diagram of a rectangle. We'll label each of the widths W, and the general form of a rectangle is that these 2 sides here would be L, but we have to have an equation with just one kind of letter in it, so we can solve it. So we're going to substitute 3W plus 4 for each of the L's. 3W plus 4 here, and 3W plus 4 for the other length. The rest of this is going to work out exactly like the other ones did. We're told that the perimeter is 36 centimeters. So we'll write perimeter 36 equals, and now we're going to add those sides. You know, we could use one of these more sophisticated formulas, 2L plus 2W, or 2 times L plus W. But let's just look at the diagram and try to add those 4 sides. Separate out the W terms and separate out the number terms. Well, we've got a 4 and a 4, that's going to be 8. So it's going to be something plus 8. 3W plus W plus 3W plus W. You should know by now, you should be able to mentally add those 4 sides and get 8W plus 8, right? Maybe this way, 3W plus 3W is 6W. And then W plus W is 2W. 6W plus 2W, 8W, right? 3W plus W plus 3W plus W is 8W. Plus the 4 plus 4 plus 8. So 8W plus 8. Hello, old friend. Another 2-step algebra equation. We will subtract 8 from each side and get 28 equals 8W. That was subtracting 8 from each side. And now dividing each side by 8, W equals 28 eighths. That simplifies down. Each of these is divisible by 4. Simplifies down to 7 halves or 3 1/2. Let's write it as 3.5 centimeters. So that's the width. We also have to find the length. So what we actually do here, I don't know if I said it this way before, but we substitute now this 3.5 centimeters into this expression up here that we came up with for L. So we have to multiply the 3.5 by 3 and then add 4 to that result. 3 times 3.5 is 10.5 plus 4 is 14.5. So 14.5 centimeters. And there it is. Make sure you realize that this solution works. It satisfies both conditions. This length of 14.5 is 3 times the width plus 4 more than 3 times the width, and a rectangle that has this length and that width does have a perimeter of 36. Probably the easiest way to do that is add these 2 and then double, right? L plus W times 2. 3.5 plus 14.5 is 18. 18 centimeters times 2 is the 36 centimeters. So there's the first one. And here's the second and final video problem for this short video. And this one's very similar to the previous one, except there is an additional pitfall to avoid, the phrase less than. And this is something you should be very comfortable with by now. I tried to deal with this low potential pitfall as early as 5th grade. I think it's in the 5th grade textbook. The students are asked to represent, say, 3 less than a number. 3 less than a number. How do you represent that? Well, you take a letter to represent the number n or x or any letter, and it's 3 less than a number is not 3 minus n, it's n minus 3. It's x minus 3. It's the number minus 3. Subtraction is not commutative. It's unfortunate that in the English language, it doesn't go left to right. 3 less than a number. The 3 has to come at the end, n minus 3. I think you know this by now, but even if we know something, it's sometimes we can slip and make that mistake. So just be careful of it, and here we go. So the perimeter of a rectangle is 33 centimeters. The length is 3 less than twice the width. Now, I just used the example 3 less than, but instead of 3 less than x, or x minus 3, or n minus 3, it's 3 less than twice the width. So how are we going to represent the length in terms of the width? 3 less than twice the width. Well, it's not this. It's not 3 minus 2w. No, 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 never make that mistake. Of course, I think you all know it's really 2w minus 3. And once you have that, it works just like the one before, except we're going to have 2 negative numbers in our perimeter now, right? So let's make a little diagram. W and W as usual, and substitute for each of the L's 2w minus 3. 2w minus 3 and 2w minus 3. Our perimeter is 33 centimeters, so we can set 33 equal to the sum of those 4 sides, all expressed in terms of W. 2w plus 2w plus w plus w. I don't have to write it all out, one long string of terms, do I? We can do that mentally. 2w plus 2w plus w plus w is 6w, right? And this time, see, these are negative numbers here. Negative 3 and negative 3. We add those and get negative 6. Hello, old friend. A 2-step algebra equation. Of course, we're going to add 6 to each side and get 39 equals 6w. 39 equals 6w. We'll divide by 6 on each side, canceling here, and w equals 39/6. Let's divide the top and bottom by 3. This is 13 halves, right? Dividing the top and bottom by 3. 13 halves is 6 1/2. Half of 13. 6 1/2. So the width is 6.5 centimeters. And the length, well, what do we have to do? Substitute the 6.5 centimeters for the W here. We have to multiply the width by 2 and then subtract 3. 2 times 6.5 is 13, right? You double 6.5. 6.5 plus 6.5 is 13. Minus the 3 is 10. The length comes out to be 10 centimeters. Look at that. There's the solution. Let's make sure that a rectangle that is 10 centimeters by 6.5 centimeters does in fact have a perimeter of 33 centimeters. Well, let's double each of them. Let's multiply the length by 2 and the width by 2 and then add those results together. 2 times L is 20 centimeters. And 2 times 6.5 is 13. So we have 20 plus 13, 33 centimeters. That's it. You see how easy? Now, if I wanted to be really devious, I could make it a little bit more complex. But generally, I don't do that, and I don't think textbooks generally do that. So this is about as hard as it can get. Rectangle perimeter problems. They're a good way to develop the discipline to solve word problems with algebra. So I think the rest of the way, it's just going to be you trying some on your own and calling some of those efforts quizzes, and you getting some easy A's to show that you've mastered some easy algebra word problems. Bye-bye, 7th graders. It's been a pleasure. Take care.